1, 2, 3. When I first moved to Nashville, I was playing every open mic, anything, really just to get my music out there. The boy meets girl on a cool summer night. When he sees her smile under football lights, he forgets the game. And I remember this older gentleman asked me, where are you from? What kind of music you play? I said, well, I'm from a little west of Boston and I play country music. And the dude just laughed in my face. He was from Kentucky. He was like, yeah, okay. And so I got up there and I played some of my tunes. He gave me a little more respect after that, which was cool. But I was thinking about it, and I love country music. I love country music songs, and some of the cool things are the love songs in country music. And I also love how music in any format, any genre, one song can kind of just take you back, to how you first felt when you heard that song or where you were. And so I kind of wanted to write on that. Now we can take you back to another time, like you never left. I grew up with country music. My father was a pastor, so for the longest time we were only allowed to listen to Christian and country music. And that always didn't make sense to me, given some of the country songs. But, so I grew up with that at an early age, and my grandfather was from Alabama, and so he kind of introduced me to, some of the Outlaws, which were some of his favorites, Willie and Waylon and that whole thing. And then my brother and sister were into contemporary. But also being from, Massachusetts, the Northeast, you get a really cool classic rock influence. Eagles, Fleetwood Mac, Tom Petty, definitely Aerosmith. And, so just things like that. And so you kind of like what you grow up with, and also the Goo Goo Dolls, kind of growing up with like an acoustic, kind of band, they had some punk stuff too. And so I guess I'm just trying to fuse it all together, but, I definitely say country, and country songs is definitely where I'm going towards. There ain't nothing that can start a fire, break down walls, lift you higher, while you sing along. I took piano originally, but my teacher noticed I wasn't reading the music. I was just memorizing it and playing it at a young age. But I stopped with that, and I picked up guitar like around 12 years old and kept with it, started singing, and playing when I was about 13, 14, and I performed at church for the first time. And I started a band at 15 in high school, and we went up and down the East Coast, and we played different high schools. We played different bars we weren't even allowed to be in, so it was fun. It was always a part of my life. At the time, MySpace was really big for artists and everything, so I was just always adding people, just trying to get the music out there, always taking it seriously. But, I was writing songs, and I was really focusing on that too at an early age. And so Nashville was kind of introduced to me by, a couple people I met actually here in New York. And so, they said Nashville's a great place for songwriters, so I went and checked it out. Fell in love with it. I fell in love with the people down there, some of the songwriters I was working with. And so that was just kind of, around 17 was when I was spending a lot of time in Nashville. And then right when I was legally able to move there at 18, I did. Make love songs. I'm not sure what comes first. It's either, the music or the lyric, or it's the idea of the whole entire song. And so I've got, just notepads, and on my iPhone I've got just notes of just lyrics, just lines everywhere. And then on my voice memos on my iPhone I have, just melodies and different guitar parts. And so I'm always writing, and then eventually when I, need to sit down and piece something together, I guess that's how I kind of do it. It's probably gonna get a little crazy. Your memory's gonna be a little hazy. And then, I love writing with other people too, because, I'll bring my ideas for the song or my melody, and, maybe they have a cool idea, and, working together on it's always fun too. Girls go way around. I just good friends having a good time. Everybody is a throwing down. Yeah, the single's called If You Want Some, and I wrote it with my producer Jamie Houston and Luke Laird. And at the time, we were writing and recording for the album, and I was living with 2-3 other guys in a 2-bedroom apartment, and so we'd have these little apartment parties. Probably got a little too loud, a little complaints sometimes. And so when I went into the write with Luke Laird, and they just been asking me what I've been doing, and I was just hanging, partying, having a fun time. So that's how the song came to be, because the rest of the record kind of has a deep emotional, some songs too on there. Your memory's gonna be a little hazy.
It's gonna be epic.
We filmed the video in East Nashville, and it was so cool. It was my first music video. I had no idea what to expect at all. I was just like, I kept calling people before the video, and I was like, someone wanted to give me any direction at all, and so, but it was fun, man. It was a lot of fun. The band van was breaking down, and so we ended up breaking down at this convenience store. And I was from such a small town in Massachusetts that all we did was hang out in front of convenience stores, because that's just all you could do. And so that was kind of where the plot came to be. So we ended up just throwing this party at this convenience store in Nashville, and it turned out to be a pretty fun time.
We don't need reminding. It's been a hot week, girl, let's unwind it. Come on, baby, you know what to do. Yeah.
The album's definitely done, and it'll be coming out very soon. I think a couple of the cool songs on there is one, there's a song called Ruby Puts Her Red Dress On. And it's one of my favorite songs I've written so far. It's about, this girl who, puts this red dress on when she's thinking about the one she lost, which is a loved one. And, a lot of people have put some different interpretations on the song, whether it's, the one she loved passed on, or he just left. And so I didn't clarify that in the song, because I think, it can be one of those things that, I like when different people can relate to the music, and it doesn't have to be just, right in front of you. You can be up for interpretation.
When she goes out, she wears her brave face to hide the hurt inside. She won't reveal.
I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and at a sushi restaurant. We had a gig, and my manager called me. And he just said, so we got you 16 dates and 12 stadium dates with Taylor Swift. I was like, yeah, okay, thanks. Like, thanks for, and whatever. And then he was like, no, for real. And I just screamed in this restaurant. And, it was so crazy. And, a lot of my friends were there. And, they're like, why are you screaming? Everyone's looking around. And so totally surreal, man. Didn't see it coming.
When Ruby puts a red dress on.
The production is huge. They've got, so many trucks and buses and everything. But, the people, man, have been so good to us. Her crew, the musicians, the dancers, everyone has just been so nice to us, accepting, and it's really just a cool hang, man. It really is. She treats her new acts really, really well. I mean, and I think a lot of that comes from is how she was treated when she was a new act by like George Strait and different people, Rascal Flatts, who she was on tour with, and so it's cool that she takes the time and to help newer acts like myself.
It's no longer there. So when she's alone.
Last fall I was on the Darius Rucker tour, and we went and did a bunch of theaters and everything. That was such a blast. It was just me and another guitar player. And also, we've done some one-off dates with some country acts, Sarah Evans, Rodney Atkins. And then we did this one gig with the Goo Goo Dolls, which was totally cool, because I grew up like listening to those guys forever. So to be able to open for them last summer was pretty cool.
Prettiest girl I've ever known, and the memory's strong.
I think in Phoenix was the first night of the Taylor tour, and when we were walking on stage, lights went out. We were playing an arena there, so it was just pitch black, and the crowd went crazy. It was a packed house right at the beginning of the show. That was definitely like, oh my gosh, this is happening right now. And so that night, and then also when I played the Grand Ole Opry for the first time in Nashville back in May, it was just flying by me while I was playing it. I couldn't really even come up with like a thought at the moment, but I was just kind of soaking it all in. Darius Rucker also told me before I played the opera, he just said, hold on to that moment, because you only get one first time. You learn a lot from them, and a lot of these people are really great people. I'm definitely proud to say that I'm a part of country music, because its artists are very, welcoming, of new artists like myself. So, it's cool, and you learn so much from them, and whether they're your same age or just a few years older, it's cool. Hey, I'm Joel Crouse. Look for me on Last.fm.